I reached Yellowstone Park late, much later than I had planned. The park was sprawling. I couldn't find anyone to ask for help or directions. Exhausted, I couldn't make sense of the map. I found myself driving around and around, becoming almost frantic. Suddenly, beyond the treetops, I spotted a bright light. Good, I thought. It must be the lodge. I drove a little further, then stopped the car and stared in awe. Above Yellowstone Lake, nestled between two mountain peaks, glowed a huge, white, full moon, the largest I'd ever seen. The pines stood guard, quiet and still. A light layer of snow frosted the lake's icy surface. I pulled to the side of the road and watched the moon set. It was the single, most breathtaking scene of the journey. I couldn't have seen this in the daytime. I would never have seen this moon had I not gotten lost. I would never have seen it had it not been this particular time of night. So maybe I'm not lost, I thought, and maybe I'm not late. Maybe what I'm really doing is taking a beautiful evening drive. When we're lost, when the way gets dark, sometimes we see things we never would have seen in the daylight. Enjoy the sunshine, but trust the darkness too. It's more than to be endured. It is to be experienced and later cherished. I will forever remember Yellowstone Glacier Lake at midnight. The lake was frozen over, a still mirror between the mountains. Even the pines stood motionless. At that moment I saw stillness. Quiet, motionless stillness. And I began to understand its power. Stillness is different from solitude, different from aloneness, different from turning off the stereo or speaking softly. Stillness is a sacred place, one that's within you. You can find it in the desert or in the mountains. You can find it when you're alone or in the midst of a crowd. Take time to seek out stillness. Let your mind and soul be at ease. Don't grasp and grab for the magic and miracles. When you reside in that place of stillness, the joy, miracles, and magic you're seeking will find you. I was driving through Montana on my way to Hot Springs, a town on the Flathead Indian Reservation. As I pulled off the main highway onto a side road, I felt an environmental ambiance I hadn't experienced before. The hills were huge mounds, covered with a soft, green, grassy moss. Not steep, sharp mountains, comforting, rounded hills, one after another. A gentle energy emanated from them. It was more than love, more than kindness. I felt embraced, almost held by Mother Earth in her bosom. My body relaxed, my spirit soared. I felt comforted. Comfort doesn't involve any expense. It comes from the heart. It goes right to the heart and touches the soul. When many of us were young, we ran to our mother, grandmother, or aunt to make a skinned knee, a hurt feeling, a bruised ego feel better. Now we're grown, but there's another mother who can do that too. Some call her the nurturing, feminine side of God. She's all that is in the universe, and in each of us, that's loving, tender, and gentle. And her comfort really does make everything better. On this road, this journey to the heart, you'll see more, feel more, and be more than you've ever been before. You're open, more open than you've ever been. Take time to comfort yourself. Be tender with your heart. When something unexpected or painful happens, when we become blocked or frustrated, when life takes a different course than we hoped it would, it's easy to stop trusting the flow of our lives. Often when we feel life has turned on us, we respond by turning on ourselves. But turning on ourselves doesn't help. In fact, it can compound the situation. It can prevent us from hearing and acting on the very guidance that will lead us through. Keep loving yourself and taking care of yourself no matter what. Through the storms, the twists, the turns, and the blocks. Take a moment, breathe deep. Restore yourself to that sacred place of self-love and self-responsibility. Loving yourself is a powerful tool, a powerful force for change. It can reconnect you to creativity, to universal love, to the best possible flow of events within your life. It can and will reconnect you to life's magic. There's a trustworthy road through whatever life brings. Loving yourself will help you find it. Are you feeling powerless? Have circumstances taken a turn you don't like? Do you feel there's nothing you can do to make today better? One power that's always available to you is the power to love yourself. Like comfort, self-love will always make things better. And perhaps when a difficult time has passed, you'll look back and say, that's what I was really learning all along, the ever-present healing power of learning to love myself. The woman was in her 50s, maybe 60s. She had retired from the big city and was now working as a waitress in a small cafe in Hot Springs, Montana. She looked as if she lived alone. She looked as if she had been through her share of disappointments, joys, and awakenings. She brought me a plate of bacon and eggs, set them down, and smiled at me. "It's a beautiful day," she said. "Yes, it is," I said. I looked at her. "Are you happy to be here?" I asked. She thought a moment, then replied, "Yes, yes, I am." The time for heaviness is past. Heaviness of body, mind, spirit, and heart. It's time to lighten up. Seek that which is light. Gravitate toward joy. Walk lightly. Speak and laugh lightly. Go lightly along your way. Learn to recognize what lifts your spirits. Learn to become comfortable choosing what energizes you. The possibilities for joy are limitless if we can do what feels good to us, in work, in life, in love, in play. You have the power to create joy by choosing what feels good to you. The time for joy isn't later. The time for joy is now. What would make you happy? It's a simple question, but one with profound consequences. Ask yourself often. Asking and answering that question, then acting on it, is often our path. Use your imagination. Let yourself see the pictures and feel the emotions of what would make you happy. Then take a moment, pause, and smile. You're beginning to get a glimpse of all you can have from God. The man said he had a spiritual experience. Actually, he said he had 4 of them. He didn't go to the mountains or the ocean or the desert to have them. He had his 4 spiritual experiences in the same place, in the parking lot outside a Shell gas station. The car filled with light, I filled with light, my heart just opened up and I forgave everyone I was resenting, he said, even my ex-wife. We don't have to search for spiritual experiences. We are the spiritual experience, a spiritual being having a human life. Look at the people around you. Now look again and see souls. When you look for holy ground, look down. That's where your spiritual experience takes place, right where you're standing, wherever you are now. The spiritual experience is you. On my trip, I stayed at several state parks. The lodging was usually fine, but the ambiance and setting often weren't what I wanted. I needed smaller, quieter places. At one point in my journey, I said, never again will I stay in a state park. Now, after driving from Montana to the edge of the Pacific Northwest, I found myself nestled in a room at Olympic State Park in Washington. It was one of the quietest, most healing places I encountered. I laughed at myself. By saying never, I had nearly cheated myself out of this experience. Learn from the past. Trust yourself. Trust your experiences, even the ones that haven't worked for you. But please don't say never. Stay open to all the universe holds. Be open to the whole journey. Is there something you're resisting? Something that makes you stubbornly say no? The voice that says, "This is how I decided it will be, so I will not consider it," may be the voice of experience talking. But it may also be the voice of resistance. New lessons usually come with inner conflict. That's why they're called lessons. Remember, the place of greatest resistance may be the point of greatest learning. I sat on a bench in Olympic State Park, chatting with the woman sitting next to me. When I told her I was on my way to see the whole rainforest, her eyes lit up. "I'll never forget my mother's words to me the first time she took me to the rainforest," the woman said. "We were at the edge of the forest, about to enter, when my mother stopped walking and turned to me. 'There's magic here,' she said." There's magic in the air in our lives, too. It's the next place on the journey. We've been clearing the path so we could do more than merely trudge down the road. The road leads to a magical way of living, a magical way of being here. You've done your work, you've stuck with the journey, now it's time for the fun. We live in a magical, vital universe, a world where universal love is real. We don't just live in it, we're part of it, visibly and tangibly connected to it. The phone call that comes at the right time. A book that teaches us what we needed to know. A movie that has the message we need to guide us and open our hearts. An opportunity that arises at just the right moment. A friend who says exactly what we needed to hear. An idea triggered by something someone says, or an object we didn't notice before, and more. The more we open to universal love, the more it will be there for us, embracing, loving, holding, guiding us. The more we learn to see it, the more it will be there until we wonder why we never saw it before. Are you living with the belief that universal love isn't there for you? Open your eyes. Open your heart. Open yourself to the universe. Begin to see and notice all the gifts you're given. The clues, the direction, the support. Stop looking to one person or source and let life's magic dance for you. See how you get what you need. See how naturally the guidance comes when you trust that it will be there. See the smiles, the friendship. Feel the inspiration. Feel the loving touch of a hand on your arm. Universal love is there for you. Learn to recognize its touch. You aren't in this world alone. Tell the universe what you want. Tell a friend. Tell God too. Tell yourself. Write it down. Talk as if you were talking to a friend. That's learning to use your power to help create your life. Then let go. Don't stand tapping your foot, impatiently waiting. Simply let go, the way you would if you trusted your friend to respond positively, in a way that was best for you. Go naturally about the course of your life. Listen to your heart, your inner voice. What you're guided to do, where you're guided to go, where your attention is directed, the people you meet, the phone calls you receive, the experiences you have, even the problems that arise. These are some ways the universe can respond. You're connected to the universe, one that will come alive for you in ways you cannot imagine, but in ways you will come to know as true. Look within, too, sometimes the most gentle, flickering thought, that glimmer of an idea, that awareness of a need or desire, or that small bit of inspiration or intuition is how the universe prepares us for what it wants us to do or receive. Our inner voice, the one in our heart, is an important part of the way we're guided and led down our path. You stand at a magical gateway now. It's the door to universal love. The haunting music of Amazing Grace followed me throughout my travels. I heard it first in the rustic cabin I rented in Arizona. The music from a distant flute wound through the air, filling it like incense, filling me with peace. The next time I heard the music was at an old Montana hotel. The notes were clearer this time, as a soothing melody drifted across the courtyard. Then, near the forest in Washington, I heard the song once more, again played on a flute. The notes rang out, the melody filled the air. Gratitude flooded my soul. Amazing Grace is following me, I thought. Then I thought again. No, Grace wasn't following me. Grace had found me. The power of gratitude never wanes. Say it when you feel and believe it. Say it when you don't. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Soon you'll hear the music too. This song of grace will touch you with its haunting melody. Amazing, amazing grace. You're opening up more and more. You're becoming clearer each day. Embrace the changes taking place. They're good. They'll last. They'll take you and your life to someplace new. Someplace you can't fully imagine now because it's so different from where you've been. Your powers will increase. You'll find yourself doing, knowing, and feeling things that you thought only certain others could do. You'll find yourself gliding through life in a way that brings you joy and touches and heals others. You'll laugh a lot, and yes, you'll cry a lot too, because an open heart feels all it needs to feel. But you won't think twice about your emotions. You'll feel them with the purity of a child and the wisdom of a sage. You'll see, touch, taste, and feel life's magic in a way you never imagined. You'll love, and you will be loved. And you'll learn that it's all the same. See how you delight in life's magic now. The surprises, the not knowing, the absolute trust in the universe to bring you your answers, manifest your visions, and help you when you can't quite see. See how much you cherish your relationship to the universe, a relationship so much more vital than you could ever before imagine. Not knowing has taught you about life's magic. It has connected you to yourself and to the universe. It's connected you to God. Not knowing has taught you to know more than you could ever imagine. I left Washington and headed down the Pacific coast. My destination was a retreat center on the Brighton Bush River in Oregon's Willamette National Forest. I arrived at the entry to the forest late, after dark. I didn't think finding the retreat would be a problem, but suddenly I found myself at a fork in the road. To the right was a chain gate marked "Foot Travelers Welcome." To the left was an open road marked "Nature Sanctuary, Authorized Visitors Only." I stared at both signs, then went down the left road and drove for a while. I didn't see anything that looked like lodging, and I began to feel uncomfortable, like one of the unauthorized visitors the sign warned about. I backed the car out to the fork, turned around, and left. 2 hours later, I still hadn't found the retreat. I was tired and now worried about running out of gas. I tried to remember what I'd been learning on this trip, that desperation attracts more desperation. I relaxed and visualized myself finding the retreat, being given a key to a room, and going to sleep in a bed. I visualized it until I could see the scene clearly in my mind. Before long, I found myself back at the fork where I'd started. I mean no harm, I thought, so I'll just drive down that nature sanctuary road again, the one for authorized visitors only. I drove as far as I had been before, then decided to push ahead a bit more. I rounded the bend, and there it was, the parking lot, the night office, and a man who could give me a key to my room. Within 20 minutes, I was in my bed. Sometimes we need to go further than we thought we could. We need to go past our fear, past our uncertainty, past the bend we can't see beyond. If we stay on the course, give it that extra push and go around the bend, we may find what we're looking for. My life has changed so much, the man at Brighton Bush told me. I go with the flow now, try to be in the moment, be spontaneous. I'm a foreman, and even at work life goes much more smoothly. A year ago, I didn't know what it meant to be centered. Now I do, and I work at staying that way. He looked around the camp, a nature retreat in the heart of the Willamette National Forest in Oregon. And I know how to get there, too, he said. For many years, I didn't understand what it meant to be centered either. If I was that way for a while, it was more accidental than deliberate. It's hard to find a place we've never been to. Learn what it feels like to be centered. Your center is a place you can trust. It connects the body, mind, heart, and soul. It connects truth, your inner voice, and the divine. Your best work comes from there. Your most loving times come from there. If you must leave your center to learn a lesson, feel a feeling, or experience something new, do that. Take all the side trips that call, but come back to your center when you're done. And go to your center first before you go anywhere else. Trust yourself, your body and soul, to know what's right for you. Learn to feel the energy of a situation, place, or person. If something feels right, you feel in harmony mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If it doesn't feel right, don't abandon yourself. Leave the situation. Try something else until you do feel right. You may not always know at first when a thing, place, or person is wrong for you. But if you listen to your body and trust your heart, you can learn to tell when it's right. Just as we strive to protect and conserve Earth's energy resources, we can strive to protect and conserve our own. Become more aware of the impact of things, people, and activities on you and your energy. What feeds you, charges you? What drains and depletes you? Yes, some difficult draining situations are inevitable, but we can learn to protect ourselves in those situations. Sometimes we need to let go of people, places, and behaviors that don't work for us anymore, that exhaust and deplete us. Learn to conserve your energy. It's a precious, valuable resource. See how much better you feel when you surround yourself with the energy of love. Think about your energy. Learn what revitalizes you, refreshes you, renews you. Energy isn't something you have, it's something you are. To give and give without taking in depletes your battery. It drains you, runs you down. Running on a low battery is no longer necessary because now you know how to live differently. Taking time to rest, renew, and center yourself isn't wasted time. Actions that emerge from an energized source are easier, go further, accomplish more. Let your work and love come from a vital spirit. Who empowers you? We need people who tell us we can. Even if they don't use words, they believe in us, and that belief comes shining through. We look at them, and what we see reflected back is our own power. Cultivate relationships with people who make you feel like you can, who help you know you're on track. Learn to empower those you love. And during those times when no one's around, know that you can empower yourself. Infuse healing energy into yourself, into your being. The world is a spa, a wealth of healing resources. Rise from your bed early in the morning. Open the curtains. Watch the sunrise. Let it infuse you with its message. Pet a puppy. Stroke a piece of velvet. Listen to a symphony. It isn't enough to draw near to the light. Absorb it into you. Let it charge you and change you with its energy and its power. Healing is all around you. Wherever you are, whatever your resources, healing energy is there. Don't tell yourself you have no energy. You are energy. Learn to energize yourself. Get up, move around, play some invigorating music. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs, move your body around. Get out and go for a walk. Watch children play. They seem to have an unlimited supply of energy. Remember what it was like to be a child. You had an unlimited supply of energy then. Most of us still do. Yes, we get tired from time to time, particularly with the schedules many of us have. And there are times in our life when less energy is available to us, such as during times of deep grief or during illness, when our body is using its energy to heal a physical problem. And sometimes other people and their problems drain us. But sometimes we drain ourselves too. Maybe you've told yourself you have no energy so loudly for so long that you've begun to believe it. Clear your circuits. Push through whatever is blocking you. Then get up, move around, connect to life. Learn to energize yourself. The Chinese call it qi, the Japanese ki. It refers to energy, the life force, the divine spirit of life that permeates all that is, that permeates you. Awaken your life force. Do things that stimulate it, bring it alive. Walk on the ground with your bare feet and let the earth's energy surge through you. Reach your hands toward the heavens and let divine energy come down to you. Move around. Release the blocks. Feel, love, sing, shout, come alive. Discover what it means to become vital and fully alive. Feel the life force surge through you, up through your legs, your spine, your head. Feel it wash down upon you through your arms, your torso, down through your toes and into the ground, rooting you to this planet like a tree. Fill yourself with qi. Fill yourself until you feel vital, alive. Feel it until you become happy and joyful, grateful to be alive on this planet. Feel it until you know you are one with God, one with life, and one with love. Feel it until you see how connected you are with all that lives. Let excitement course through you. It is vitality. It's healing, life-giving energy. It's the life force. Feel it course through your veins. Stay committed to your growth process until you wake up one morning and ask yourself, what is that strange thing I'm feeling? Then know what the answer is. The answer is joy. How long has it been since you played? How long has it been since you played at your life, had fun with it? Make time to play. Go play. Yes, take a break and go play. When your head starts to pound and your back starts to ache, stop. Do something you want to do. Do something that feels good, feels fun. How careful and guarded we've been with fun, with playing, with sheer enjoyment. Sometimes we act as though there's a limited amount, a scarce supply of fun available. We can't take too much or it'll be all gone. That's how I was for a long time. One Saturday afternoon, my son, Shane, asked if he could spend the night at a friend's house. Why? I asked. To have fun, he said. You just did something fun last night, I reminded him. He thought for a moment. Who said you can't have fun 2 days in a row? He asked. Remember when you were a child and your imagination soared? Let your imagination come alive. Play the game of what if. What if life could be fun? Play as much as you can. Find time. Take time to play. It may give you the energy you need. Take time to reward yourself. Let it become a deliberate habit. Our souls can become tired, very weary, of striving to grow, to do things well, to do our best at life, love, and work if there is no reward. Our passion can wane if good is never good enough, and if the rewards and pleasure are always, always at bay. If you feel like the world offers no reward to you, maybe it's because you're not cooperating by rewarding yourself. Reward yourself often. When you accomplish a particular task. When you've gone through a grueling part of your healing process. Reward yourself during those frustrating times just for being so patient. Sometimes reward yourself just for being you. Look inside yourself. Feel your vitality, your energy. Feel your essence. It is pure love. Everything you need in order to live in love is within you. Nurture yourself. Let yourself grow. Learn from all who cross your path. Value your connections to others and the world around you. Take your place in the world. Know you're part of a complete universe. But remember, you are a complete universe, too. For so long, you thought that spiritual growth, healing, life had to be hard. And it was, for many reasons. That's no longer the case. You have committed to life. You've committed to growth. You've committed to opening your heart and taking the journey. That's enough. The rest will be revealed to you in time. The answers will become clear. The vision, the guidance, the leading you're seeking will come. All you need to guide you through life will come. Quiet spiritual awakenings. Quiet revelations that profoundly change your life. Each awakening will take you to the next place. Each will lead you home. I felt strained and tense when I began the drive along the Redwood Highway. I had wanted to take another road, one quicker but less scenic, to get to my destination. At the last moment, I decided to drive through the trees. Thousands of redwoods grew hundreds of feet into the air. Some stood alone, tall and proud. Some seemed to have their necks craned so they could peer down onto the highway. Some grew with roots connected, like families. Mile after mile, for as far as I could see, the trees surrounded me. Their message became inescapable. It was one of calmness, patience, and growth. Learn a lesson from the redwoods. Let them teach the power of patience and calm. Life goes on, things happen, people change. There are stories to live and stories to tell, but we can be calm knowing always all is well. They're the storyteller trees, I thought, as I reached the end of the forest trail and neared the ocean, breaking through the thick fog that had settled in. Each of us has a story to tell, and our own way of sharing it with the world. It comes out through our words, through our work, and through the simple actions of our daily life. Listen to the stories of the people around you. Learn to value and appreciate the story you're living now. Let the creative energy of the universe come alive for you. Let it help you bring your creations to life. Let it bring you the answers, the direction, the guidance you need. Let it bring you your ingredients. What are you trying to create? A more loving, open relationship? More spiritual growth? A new job? A book? A new home? A friendship? A play? A song? A meal? A budget? Ask the universe for the help you need. Sometimes the answer will come softly, almost as a whisper. Other times the guidance will be loud and clear. To tap into God and the creative force, simply tap into your heart. Value and learn from your dreams. They can assist you in your life and in your projects. We dream two kinds of dreams, waking dreams and sleeping dreams. Both are powerful forms of consciousness. Tapping into our dreams helps us tap into the powerful creative force of the universe. Visions are different from dreams. A vision is a picture that comes from the soul and comes out through the heart. It's a quick flash of something that hasn't happened yet. It may tell us something about today or 10 years from now. The more conscious and clear and direct we are, the more we can tune into and help create the highest vision for our lives. Sometimes, when we run out of dreams, we have to rely on our visions, these small glimpses of light, to lead the way. We can learn to visualize what we would like to see happen in our lives. Visions can help create our future and guide us down the path. If we have a picture of where we're going, it will help us know when we get there. We waste so much time and effort when we try to accomplish something before we've envisioned it. Learn to let the vision come first. Many of us have very active imaginations. We have the power to see in our minds what we cannot yet see with our eyes. The problem is that many of us use this power to conjure up all sorts of images about the bad, painful things that could happen. Maybe it's time to use the potent, creative power of imagination and visualization to create pictures of all the good we would like to see in our lives. What would you like to see happen in your life? Create a picture you can see. The more real you make it, the better it will be. See yourself doing all the things you'd like to do. Take the time to use your creative power of visualization to create the life you'd like. Take time to see yourself being happy. For a long time, we saw only some of the possibilities life held. We'd look at a situation and see the possibilities for guilt, victimization, sadness, and sometimes despair. You don't need to limit yourself anymore. You've opened your heart, now open your mind. Look around. See all the possibilities for adventure, fun, and service. I met a woman at one of the hot springs I soaked in on my trip. She had a gentle, open way. She talked to me about rituals, about miracles, about change. My husband and I badly wanted a child, but I couldn't get pregnant, she said. One night I decided to go to a mikvah, a Jewish ritual bath. My decision felt powerful, but every obstacle you could imagine happened when I tried to get there. I could barely get out of my house. Then, when I did, I got lost and had to go back home for directions. When I finally got to the bath, it was beginning, but I knew I needed to be there. The night was electric. The air felt as if it were charged with lightning. It was a full moon. I went through the ritual and returned home. That night, my daughter was conceived. She's now 7 years old. There are often obstacles on our path, roadblocks, barricades, detours, things to go over, around, or under. Sometimes the roadblocks are telling us, no, this door isn't opening, find another way. Other times the roadblocks are telling us that the road we have chosen is very special. If we want to go down it, we'll have to try, we'll have to focus, we'll have to muster our energy and show the world how badly we want it. We'll have to overcome each and every obstacle one by one as they appear. What do you want badly? Are you willing to go through an obstacle course, if need be, to achieve it? Are you willing to be tested by the universe? Sometimes the road ahead is blocked, but clearing the way becomes part of our journey. Learn to tell when it's time to let go, to surrender, to search for another road, a different path, another dream. But also learn to tell when it's time to move forward, through obstacles if need be, because the dream is electric, charged by divine energy and love. Trust and act on the guidance you have now. Don't worry if you can't see that far ahead, if you only have a glimmer of light to guide your path. Do the small thing. Take that one step. Go as far as you can see. It may be a step of immediate action or deliberate inaction. Sometimes you may have to quiet down, wait, and prepare yourself to hear what you are to do next. Trust and act on the guidance you have now, and more will come. Value what ignites the flame within you. Value what inspires and interests you, what enrages you, what tickles and exhilarates you, what sparks the fire within. Your strong feelings, what you love or hate, aren't wrong. Your passions will lead and guide you in all you want to do. From the tiniest idea to the grandest scheme, what makes your flame burn more brightly is the light shining from above, gently guiding the way. What takes us out of the motions and into our emotions? That's what connects us to the energy of life. Expressing passion and gratitude will guide your life. Say it again and again. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you live it. Service. Gentle service that comes from the heart. That's the theme, the rhythm of life, work, love. See the trees, the grass, the flowers, the mountains, the ocean. Look and really see how effortlessly they serve. Their very life is service. Know that your life, too, is service. Don't worry about what you will do to serve. Focus instead on loving yourself, and let your service arise from that. For a long time, service meant drudgery, something grim and tiresome to me. Having to say yes all the time, even when I wanted to say no. Doing a lot of things I didn't want to do because someone asked me to. But much of the time what I did didn't help others or me. Usually I felt angry, resentful, tired, and unappreciated. After years of living this way, I started avoiding people so I could avoid the responsibility of having to solve their problems. I shied away from people. I shied away from service. I needed to change my definition of it. Service isn't something we do. It's a way of life. Service is what our lives are when we're loving ourselves. Now, to me, service means that we take our place in the universe, naturally and easily. We listen to our hearts, trusting the guidance about what we want to do, what feels right for us. We listen when our hearts say yes and when our hearts say no, too. We love ourselves. We do what we're led to do. We do what we enjoy and have a passion for doing. That's service. We enjoy life. We open our hearts to the people around us. We laugh openly. We cry openly. We let ourselves be who we are. That's service. When a task or job arises that it's our job to do, one that feels right and appropriate for us, we do it in joy and love. That's service. We allow ourselves to be in the present moment, realizing the value of work and of giving. Then we take it one step further. We allow ourselves to have fun and enjoy what we're doing while we're doing it. That's service. If a task seems too grim to bear, if we can't find the reserves or resolve to accomplish it, if no way to do it opens up, we quietly say no. We haven't failed. We've succeeded in listening to our hearts. We've succeeded at true service. We give of ourselves, our resources, our love. We give of our time and our love and our joy in those places and with those people that feel right to us. We don't worry about what we're going to get back while we're giving. We focus on the giving because we're doing something we want to do. If service has become drudgery, redefine it until it becomes joy. True service won't make you back away from people in life. It will bring you closer to God and to yourself. True service helps you become a part of the magical dance of universal love. We each have the power to transmit healing energy to others and ourselves, regardless of our profession. We have the ability to awaken that power and use it in the world around us through our chosen field of work. There are many ways each of us can creatively figure out how to incorporate and channel our healing powers into our daily life. Healing energy is the energy of love. Learn to let it flow through you. I left Point Reyes, a seashore town close to San Francisco, headed for Sequoia National Park, my last stop on this trip. Before long, I found myself at the foot of the Golden Gate Bridge. As I drove the span of the bridge, I felt the same electric charge surge through me as I had felt in Chimayo, in Ojo Caliente, and on the Flathead Reservation in Montana. It was then I realized that bridges are holy, sacred ground. Times of change are holy. We may not know where we're going. It may not feel like our feet are on solid ground. They aren't. We're crossing a bridge to another part of our lives. Cross the bridge. You don't have to understand it all right now. Information and understanding will come later. You'll get to the other side. For now, trust and experience what you're going through. Know that this time of change is sacred and holy, too. I drove down the winding road into Kings Canyon in California, unsure of where the path was taking me. I drove past Lavender Hills and ended alongside a rushing, roaring river spilling over with whitewater froth. Beware of turbulent waters, the sign warned. I parked the car and stepped outside, taking in the scenery. Now I knew where this road had led. It led to peace. Cultivate peace. Commit to peace. Insist on it. Don't settle for peace based on outward circumstances or a particular arrangement in your life. Drive down the winding road and find the peace that prevails amidst the mountains, now purple in the setting sun. Find the peace that prevails even when the turbulent waters of the river roar through your life. Settle for nothing less. I watched as my journey unfolded this spring. Each place I visited gave me a lesson. People would show up at the right time and place with exactly the words I needed to hear. Sometimes the lesson would be announced loudly, clearly. Sometimes an awareness would surface softly when I least expected it, when I was beginning to wonder if any lesson or purpose was there at all. Everything I saw and experienced ultimately reinforced my trust in God, the universe, and the power of my heart to lead me on. After all, I had taken this trip on a moment's notice with no itinerary, and a magical adventure had unfolded. By the time the journey ended and I pulled into the driveway at home, I had learned more than just to trust the process. I had learned to respect it. Learn to become awestruck by the journey you're on. Cherish the moments, all of them, even the ups and downs. Cherish the places you'll visit and the people you'll meet. Honor the lessons you learn and the people who help you learn them. Honor the journey your soul maps out for you. And keep a scrapbook in your heart to help you remember with love. Remember the words I was told when this adventure began. The words whispered quietly to my heart. Let the journey unfold. Let it be magical. The way has been prepared. People will be expecting you. Yes, you are being led. Hung Baraguru Pame Siddhi Hung Mani Pame Hung. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
We hope you've enjoyed this program from Harper Audio. To order additional cassettes or to receive a complete catalog of Harper Audio and Cadman titles, please call us at 1-800-331-3761. That's 1-800-331-3761. Thank you.